Hi, this is Josh Floyd, the coordinator of dual enrollment here at Wytheville Community College. This video is designed to get you acclimated with items within your My.WCC account. There is a separate video that I've created that's also on the dual enrollment portion of the website that goes over specifically information regarding the learning management system known as Canvas. I do encourage you, if you have Canvas questions or would like to view that video separately, that's going to give you an in-depth review of Canvas as it relates to your online classes through dual enrollment. But this particular video is going to go over all of the other items that are through your My.WCC account. And so you'll notice that we have the My.WCC screen listed. So we're going to go ahead and go into your account. And as always, you're going to go under the My.WCC link. And as we mentioned in the Canvas video, you're going to go ahead and put in your username. You will also be instructed to input your password. I have receiving a notification. And again, as I mentioned in the Canvas video, in addition to putting in your username and password, what you're going to do is you're also going to include a pictograph. Now, a pictograph is an additional layer of authentication that you're going to select. So that way, individuals would have to guess your username and then your password and then somehow guess your pictograph. So it's additional layer of security. And that'll be something that you'll do each time that you log into your WCC account while you are a dual enrollment student with WCC. So you have your username, your password, and then your pictograph. Now, a lot of the details that we're going to go over, some of these items are ones that you're not going to see on your WCC main screen. We're only going to go over the items that you're going to see on a regular basis. Again, as I mentioned earlier, there is a separate video for your Canvas account. I do encourage you to view that, especially if you're taking any type of online classes through WCC for the fall and or spring. You'll also notice that your Gmail is listed. That is your WCC issued email. This will not activate until you are enrolled in dual enrollment classes. So if you have activated, of course, if you've activated your application, you are to this point. However, if you're not enrolled in classes yet or classes haven't been made active, then your Gmail is not going to become active until they are active. And so if you've done your application and it's a few months away, let's say it's a few months away from when you're beginning classes, don't worry. Once your classes are added, then your email becomes activated at that point. The first thing I want to go over is your SIS link. So this is your Student Information System link. Think of this as the heartbeat of your account. And when you log in, your information is going to look like this. You're going to be accessing a couple of items here. The first one that you're going to access, the main one that you're going to access is your My Student Information. It should have your name and it should have your student ID number, which is a 7-digit number, as well as your username. So if you select that, it should default eventually to the Student Center. We hope that it will. As it defaults to the Student Center, and if it does not, then we want to make sure that you know that the Student Center is where you're going to have your demographic information. My information as far as your address, your phone number, your other items are going to be listed there. You'll notice that in the middle of your screen that the finances component, if you were paying for a course, like so let's say you were paying for a summer course as a self-pay course, or if you were taking classes as a traditional student and you would make a payment, you'll notice that the finances component is in the middle of your screen. Now, dual enrollment students who are taking classes that are in their school with a credentialed instructor, as well as students who are taking online classes through the day at their school, those classes are covered by your school system. So you don't have to worry about any type of costs. One of the things that you'll notice is that when we enroll you in classes, before the school system pays for their classes, you might see a dollar amount there. And if you do, a lot of students might panic and say, I thought these classes were covered. Don't worry, because once the classes are solidified, once we send out the rosters, then the school system will pay for those. So it should say, eventually it would say no outstanding charges, which in this case it does. The other pieces of information here under the academic information item, there are several items that you'll be able to do. One, that you'll be able to see your class schedule. So when all your classes are enrolled, you'll be able to choose your semester and be able to see your requirements there. A lot of these items are ones that won't be activated as of yet. For example, you won't be able to add classes. That'll be something that I do. But if you continue at WCC and matriculate as a traditional student, you would be able to self-enroll at that point. Although I do encourage you to meet with your academic advisor and to meet with someone here at WCC that can help you set up your classes. One item that you'll use quite a bit is a course history. So you'll be able to see a listing of your classes. You'll be able to see what you've taken, the grades that you've received those. A lot of students will ask me for an unofficial transcript before they request an official transcript. So the course history is a good job of that. What we can do is it'll give us a nice screenshot of your classes. Transcripts, you won't be able to request those here. I will show you momentarily where you can request those. Another item that you'll use as a traditional student and not in dual enrollment would be your academic requirements. This will give you a degree audit. So this won't occur when you're in dual enrollment, but if you decide to continue on at WCC, as a traditional student, you can see what classes that you've taken and what classes that you have left. But your SIS is listed there. Your personal information, that is listed here. That could be your addresses, your name, phone number, email, etc. If you ever need to change that information, your address, your phone number, your email, you'd be able to do that here. If you've had a legal name change, you would need to go through the admissions office to do that. But let's say you've had a phone number change. Let's say you've had an email that's changed or is updated. You can always update that in your SIS. So that is what your SIS consists of. You do have access to a Google Drive because you have access to a Google email. That is something that you'll be able to use while you are a WCC student. Other items that you won't use, for example, you won't use this Follett link. However, if you become a traditional student here at WCC after dual enrollment, that is where it will link to the college bookstore to where you can actually see what books are required for your classes. In dual enrollment, that information is already provided. I do want to go to the library catalog because the library catalog is a great way to utilize the library resources and to use the WCC database, the Virginia Community College System database. This is a great way that you can use for research purposes as part of your dual enrollment classes. And it will default you to the main menu, and it's going to ask, hey, what are you looking for overall? And if I'm looking at, let's just say we're talking about Business 100. And one of the items that we talk about is transformational leadership. And I'm going to say transformational leadership. So the database is going to search all the different journals and publications and whatnot. And you'll notice that, hey, it did a good job. Well, it did very, very well. 11,000 different peer-reviewed journals, whether they're in the library, online, open access, etc. Well, that's quite a bit. I don't know if you have time to review all 11,000 entries. So if you want to get specific, so let's look at, I don't know, we're going to look at transformational leadership in community colleges. Okay, now we're paring that number down. So now we're getting more specific. We're still have a lot. 2,273 is a lot. Let's just narrow it down even further. Let's go in Virginia. Now we've got something. Now we've got 17 journals or peer-reviewed journals or accessible textbook information and whatnot that's going to go over, okay, if I'm looking at a research component on transformational leadership in Virginia's community colleges, it's going to give you very specific information. And it's also going to take you to whether it's a PDF, whether you can read it online, all this information is going to be available to you. And so as you get more and more involved in your classes and you're going to do more and more research, this is a great way for you to go ahead and do that. So you can actually go in and actually look at citations. You'll be able to do all different types of searches, but that it shows you what power that you have in utilizing the library resources that we have here, as well as the Virginia Community College system that's going to be available to you. So just a very snippet there on what you can use for your library calc. Another item that you'll use quite a bit is Anthology. Anthology is where you're going to go to, there's a couple of ways that you can get to your course evaluations. This link will be available to you towards the end of your online class or end of your in-person classes. You'll be able to go in and actually do an anonymous course evaluation, be able to talk about your experiences in your classes. And we encourage all of our dual enrollment students to do this because this helps us evaluate our courses and helps make our courses better. And so you'll be able to answer that for each of your classes, whether it's online, whether that's in person. If you're taking a class through Canvas, there will be a link to your evaluations from your Canvas account. You can also get to all of your classes that you're taking in dual enrollment through Anthology. That usually opens up towards the latter part of the semester. One great option that you have, or actually one of many great options that you have through your WCC account, is something called BrainFuse. BrainFuse is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week tutoring portal where you can utilize different aspects of BrainFuse, especially as it relates to live help, because the tutoring center and the college and the learning resource center, they're not open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your high schools are not open 7 days a week. Your private institutions, if you're a homeschool student, you need access to this at all hours of the day or night. So under Live Help, you can actually choose from a variety of options. And these can certainly be related to dual enrollment classes, but they don't necessarily have to be. You can use this for, a chemistry class that's not dual enrollment, but you need your chemistry class. It's a high school chemistry class. You can actually use this for tutoring. But let's say you're in a dual enrollment math class and you need help with pre-calculus. So the first thing that you can do is after you check your drop downs, you can say, okay, when are the tutors available? They're available now, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There's also a link if you need to have tutoring in Spanish. That is an option that you have available through BrainFuse as well. You'll notice that the green section there, that clock, that indicates how many minutes that you have left to use BrainFuse. Now, as you can see, we are, as I record this, we're in June of 2024. So we are using the summer parameters of our dates. So our summer semester ends in early August. So your usage cap per semester, you have 600 minutes or 10 hours that you can use for BrainFuse. And if I'm ready to utilize BrainFuse, I would choose that connect button. So let's say you use BrainFuse for 30 minutes one day. When you go back, your clock is going to say 570. And so it's going to that's going to be available to every dual enrollment student each semester. You have 10 hours of BrainFuse time that you can use. If you need more, if you run out, let us know and we'll be happy to do so. There's also, we don't use tutoring match, but there is a component there, but we mainly use live help. And then the other item that we use is the writing center, which I think is fantastic. So let's say you're formulating a paper for your class. Let's say it's a history paper that you're writing. And you have specific citations. So let's say your instructor requires APA 6th edition. You can ask the reviewer to review 3 items where you would like them to focus on your writing. If you don't choose anything, then just an overview will be done. So if I were to choose three, I would always choose grammar. I like the introduction to be reviewed and I don't know, conclusion. So grammar, beginning, and end. If you have additional items that you want to say, like, hey, this is for U.S. History 1, this is for Western Civilization, you can include that. You would upload your file. Any other comments that we would know and that they would need to know, and then hit submit. And in one business day, you should get a response as far as someone will have reviewed this and they would make any type of changes or edits or whatnot. But great option. As you can see, you have 17 of those opportunities to utilize that per semester. Great way for someone to read your paper before you submit them. So I definitely encourage you to use BrainFuse for the live help and for the writing lab. There's also all different types of academic tools that you can use there as well. But more often than not, our students are using live help and then the writing lab. Transcript services. So for transcript services, that is available through Parchment. So if you need to request an official transcript to be sent, generally this is going to be for another academic institution, usually for a four-year college or university. If you're not planning on attending WCC once you've graduated, you'll need to request an official transcript because your high school, yes, they'll have the grades from your dual enrollment classes, but your college or university, they need the official transcripts from WCC in order to assess credit. So this is where you're going to go to do this. And this is really important because every year we always have students that forget to do this. And if they're going straight to a four-year college university, if you don't request this, then they're going to try to put you in the first year classes. And more than likely, you probably already have dual enrollment credit in those. So you want to make sure that you do that through Parchment. It does cost $3.95 to send it electronically. The paper option is a little bit more, but that's where you'll go to request this. Now, note, if you are wanting a complete transcript, you always want to allow at least a couple of weeks after your school year ends before requesting this because it gives your instructors time to upload your final grades. If you ever have any questions on this and you want me to check to make sure that all your grades are there before you make the request, feel free to reach out to me because I'd hate for you to have to make another request and that's another $3.95. So feel free to reach out to me if you want me to check to make sure that your transcript is ready. And I apologize, I skipped over a very important window on your WCC screen through Timely Care. Timely Care is a component that is supported by the Virginia Community College System for mental health and well-being. Dual enrollment students have access to Timely Care. This is a free component that is provided to all of our students, including dual enrollment students. We do mention that if dual enrollment students are under the age of 18, they will need a parent or guardian to also approve as well. So there's some information that you'll fill out, but definitely encourage you to utilize this as needed. Your Office 365 link is there. You have access to up to 5 different devices utilizing Office 365, the full array of the Microsoft Office package at no cost to you. This also includes OneDrive, Forms, in addition to your Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, etc. Great option for our students. Also, there's another link to the library, the Learning Resource Center. So again, it's going to go over specific hours of operation. And you'll notice that there's a couple days during the week where we are open extended hours. During the semester, we're open on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays until 7 o'clock. There's also Saturday hours as well. In addition to that, you can also reserve a study space in the Learning Resource Center. So if you and a group from your class, you need to get together and you're studying for an upcoming test and you want to reserve a space in the Learning Resource Center, you'll be able to do that. We also have a collaboration center as well that's available as well. So if you wanted to reserve a space, it would take you to a screen to where you can actually designate Whether you want the group study room, and it's usually 2 hours per request. We also have a virtual reality, so if you want to come in and utilize our headsets and whatnot, that's available to you. And then the Collaboration Center is a larger area that's, more or less that's taught a lot more for classes. So the group study room is where a lot of our students utilize that, and actually we'll seat up to 8 students, and you can actually choose this for a 2-hour stretch as well. So I definitely encourage you to think about doing that if you need the space in the Learning Resource Center. Transfer Virginia is a wonderful website. If you are planning on attending a 4-year college or university, whether it's after high school or whether it's after getting your associate degree from WCC, transfer tools here are going to show you how your classes transfer, where they're going to transfer. You'll be able to search programs and courses. It's a great tool for both public institutions in the state of Virginia and private institutions in the state of Virginia. An excellent resource for our students. Excuse me. You'll also see there's an MFA component there that'll be listed for your pictograph. When you decide to attend WCC, if you decide to attend WCC as a traditional student, then you will move from the pictograph option to more of either a push notification, a 6-digit code that's sent to your personal email, or a text message at your discretion. So that goes over a listing all the items that you'll need for your My.WCC account. Again, I do encourage you to check out the other video that we have on Canvas if you have specific questions about Canvas as part of your dual enrollment experiences in your classes. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me at any time. We really appreciate you being involved in dual enrollment. And as always, feel free to ask me if you have any questions.